There is an Arabic word. Amal, that means hope. Today, as you see, this word is written in the sand. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Daza Camilo. Welcome back to the desert. In this holy month of Ramadan, we started the last week a series of videos talking about the relevance of Prophet Yousuf's story, a very famous story not only in the Quran but also in the Bible and the Torah, that show us the reality of a world in crisis. We were talking about how the environment was very similar in those times with today. To the other side, we learned how the king was desperate and how he was clueless about this situation, very similar to with our leaders today. So in this frame appears a character that will show us how to face these difficult times with wisdom and leadership. And today we will talk about Prophet Yousuf. Check it out.
وقال الذي اشتراه من مصر لامرأته أكرمي مثواه عسى أن ينفعنا أو نتخذه ولدا وكذلك مكنا ليوسف في الأرض ولنعلمه من تأويل الأحاديث والله غالب على أمره ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون.
And the one from Egypt who bought him said to his wife, "Make his residence comfortable. Perhaps he will benefit us, or we will adopt him as a son." And thus we established Joseph in the land, that we might teach him the interpretation of events. And Allah is predominant over his affair, but most of the people do not know.
So based on that, we need to ask, who is Yousuf? Not only about who was as a person, as we know his story, he was betrayed by his brothers, and also he was in jail, and he had a very, very hard way in his life. But it's not only about that. Today we learn about the features that makes him special for the eyes of the king. Today we'll talk about his character. Entrepreneurship is sometimes a very difficult word, because his meaning is somebody who takes risk. And it's not easy today to take risk. Today, we are facing a big challenge around the world with COVID-19. And today, in this environment, we have a lot of risk. In these difficult times, maybe we need a hope. First, we need to consider, he was a dreamer, but he was not only a dreamer. To be a dreamer is very easy. Actually, maybe you can find this video. Has a lot of thousands of videos in internet talking about leadership, talking about motivation, talking about a positive mind. He was more than a dreamer. He was also a thinker. He was a doer. In lean times, we don't need only nice words or positive mind or yes, you can do it, this. No, we need facts. We need people who can make this real. And Yousuf was this kind of person. Meanwhile, the king was desperate and around him was a lot of people saying, yes, maybe the dream is this, maybe your dream is that, maybe this and that. He needed a person to bring him back to the reality. This is the secret of leadership. Not only saying, but thinking and doing. So today we will learn 3 features that made Yousuf totally different than the other leaders in his age, and how you and me, we can be different in this time. So are you ready to learn about leadership? Let's see. Let's see these 3 features.
وكذلك يجتبيك ربك ويعلمك من تأويل الأحاديث ويتم نعمته عليك وعلى آل يعقوب كما أتمها على أبويك من قبل إبراهيم وإسحاق إن ربك عليم حكيم.
And thus will your Lord choose you and teach you the interpretation of narratives and complete His favor upon you and upon the family of Jacob, as He completed it upon your fathers before, Abraham and Isaac. Indeed, your Lord is knowing and wise.
Okay, the first feature of a leader in lean times is that he needs relevant knowledge. Actually, there is a word here that says wa'alu alimuka, that means it will teach you. But this kind of knowledge is not the kind of knowledge that you can find everywhere. We are not talking about academic knowledge. We are not talking about only the kind of knowledge or information. No. We are talking about the kind of knowledge that comes with wisdom. So we have different levels. We have informational level, we have knowledge, and we have wisdom. What is the difference between 3? Information, you can find information everywhere. Actually, today we have thousands of information about leadership, about business, about entrepreneurship, thousands of millions. But knowledge is different. It's something that is specific in some areas that is required. And wisdom is the capacity to take the decision based on your knowledge. In a business, how this applies? First, we need to have integral intelligence. So the knowledge that you have in your sector, in your company, is not enough. You need to see around you what is happening around the world. You need to see the best practices in each sector. Maybe you can find proper information to find a solution. For other side, you need awareness about the future. This is something that is difficult to say today, because maybe you can say it's very difficult to know what will happen in the future. Every month is more difficult than the other. Yes, of course, but there is in the environment of the business trends, micro trends and mega trends that can show you how will be the behavior of the business around you in the future. I will give an example. During the last 10 years, we were talking about technology, we were talking about video calls, we were talking about webinars. Why this is different today? Because now our culture it's merging with the technology due to the pandemic situation. So this is like a trigger. What if you can see this before? You can see today what is the trends. The trend, for example, is that today we are facing social distance between each other. Maybe this will have a consequence in the future in 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years ahead, and maybe you can see how will be the behavior of the market in the future based on the decisions today. For the other side, it's very important for you to have analysis skills. Why? Because each vector, each factor that you can see in the market will give you a proper information about the future and about you. So with the proper information, you can make proper decisions. And also, you need to have resource management. What it means? It means that based on your current resources, you need to be wise to use it in an accurate way to find a solution in the future. In other words, when you have integral intelligence and also you mix this with awareness about the future with a proper analysis skills and also you manage your resources, you can create a new business model. And this will be the base of the success. That's why relevant knowledge is very important in these special times. Let's go to the second feature.
ولما بلغ أشده آتيناه حكما وعلما وكذلك نجزي المحسنين.
And when Joseph reached maturity, we gave him judgment and knowledge, and thus we reward the doers of good.
The second feature that a leader needs is relevant experience. There is a word here that is ashudahu, means maturity. Why this is important for business? Because maturity is not only about how long you've been in business, but also it's about in all of this time, what do you learn? And how this learning can be a legacy for others. This is very important because part of the maturity is that you need to create a legacy. You need to create something that is relevant not only for you, for others. If you are facing difficult times in finance, once you learn the lesson, you can teach others how to raise the same thing in finance because you have the experience. So a leader needs to make experience to have better decisions. Those decisions are based not only in the knowledge, but also in the experience of the person had before. So now you can see that this new challenge for you, maybe you can bring from the back of the learning that you had before and try to find a solution. This will help you to find a solution based on your experience, based on your maturity. And also based on this, you can try and maybe you can teach others to bring them back to the reality. That's why I believe that there is two different ways to see the leadership. You can be a coach or you can be a mentor. The coach is the person that only will teach you how to do it, based on information, based on knowledge. But the mentor is a person who can teach you based on his experience. And this is the most valuable asset that you can have as a leader. So based in your experience, based in your decisions, based in your learning from the past, you can have a path of results engagement. Because if you have results, you can say that you have evidence of your knowledge and your experience. And this evidence will create a legacy around you. So the people around you will believe you not for your words, not for your motivation, not for your experience, but for your legacy. That's why Prophet Yousuf was different than others, because he didn't came to the king with nice words or with motivational videos. No, he came with his experience. He passed by a very deep crisis in his own life. Now he had the experience to show, he had his legacy to show to the king what he must do. So do you have legacy to show to others? Let's go to the third one.
يوسف أيها الصديق أفتنا في 7 بقرات سمان يأكلهن 7 عجاف و7 سنبلات خضر وأخر يابسات لعلي أرجع إلى الناس لعلهم يعلمون.
He said, Joseph, O man of truth, explain to us about 7 fat cows eaten by 7 that were lean, and 7 green spikes of grain and others that were dry, that I might return to the people. Perhaps they will know about you.
The third feature of a leader in lean times is we need to have values assets. There is an Arabic word here that, wow, blows my mind, because it's the word sadiq, that means quality trustable person. Today we are facing the most difficult situation because we cannot trust in each other. Even it's difficult to be closer to each other, no less than 2 meters. So while Yusuf was Sadiq, was a trustable person, because you have levels of trust. You can trust in the people that you know. You can trust in the people that maybe you were sharing some words with them, but you cannot trust in a person who just came from the heaven. You need to be a trustable person. In business, the trust is the base of everything, because the trust is the base of the business. The trust is the base of the economy. If you can bring trust in the investor's way, you can bring trust in the capital, you can bring trust in the sales, you can be trust in the suppliers. The trust will be around them. But you need to be a trustable person. Sadiq, quality trustable person. So you and me, we need to be trustable in our words, in our way to make the things, in our way to make decisions, in our way to treat the people. In business, your company must be a trustable company. How we can do this? Through the branding. Your brand is your image in front of your market, but your brand must be trustable. If the people can see you as a trustable company, the people will come back to you. Doesn't matter if you don't have enough cash flow, if you have trust with your suppliers, maybe you have a credit, maybe you don't have cash flow to pay your employees now, but if you're a trustable person, if you're a trustable company, these people will fight for you because they believe in your words, because you are a trustable brand, because you are a trustable company. But this requires for you that you need to have coherence between your words and your facts, your words and your decisions. If you have coherence between this, you can be a trustable person. And if you are a trustable person, it will be easier for you to have proper alliances and collaboration with other companies, with your suppliers, with your customers, because today we need each other. That's why we need to have trust. In other words, when you have values assets, when you are a trustable person, when your brand is trustable, when you are able to make coherence between your facts, between your decisions, between your thoughts, between your mouth, you can bring hope to the people. Remember this word that I wrote in the sand? Amal, that means hope. You can write this word not in the sand, but in the stone and in the heart of your customers. Said so, Prophet Yousuf had these 3 features. He had relevant knowledge, relevant experience, and he had values assets. Do you have these 3 things for your life? So we have a leader with these 3 features, and we had a desperate king. When they meet each other, now we have the strategy. What happened then? What was the strategy? In our next video, we'll see the strategy, and you and me, we will learn how to make the same in a practical way. Please, if you like, please share. I hope to see you soon in our next video. Masalama.